Hello and welcome. It is Thursday night, the traditional night of G-Law streams, and 8 o'clock. Would you look at that? It's 8 p.m. on a Thursday night, just like old times. The only difference is I got to go to bed more like between 9 and 10. So this then will obviously be a short stream. And hello, Alexander G. How you doing, man? The man of many names. I remember what all your names were, but I know you've been around for like years, man. You've been around for like almost 4 years, huh? This year I will be celebrating my 5th anniversary of streaming. That won't come until closer to the end of the year, but I started my channel in September of 2015. It is now 2020. It's pretty remarkable. So, yeah, I don't think anyone's looking for me tonight. I'm not even gonna tweet. Those who were paying attention, I did a random stream last Saturday. I recently got back into Subnautica again. I picked up the gameplay, the save game of Subnautica that I was playing 2 years ago, and I stopped 2 years ago, and that save game just sat there for 2 years. Oh my gosh! Alexander the Great! What you did, man! Look what you did! You made that happen with the $4.99. That's like $5 right there. Dude, thank you. That's awesome. I mean, that's very nice of you. I appreciate that a whole lot. And thanks for being here. It's nice to see a familiar face. I have a feeling it's going to be hey, Barbara! Wow, look at this. It's all treats tonight. And oh my God, what? Yeah, it's Subnautica. Alalie Hernandez, how you doing, Alalie? Caw to you. And James Baker. Wow, what a treat. I mean, I should stream at 8 o'clock on Thursday nights more often. Now I'm starting to develop a theory that 8 o'clock Thursday nights is what I did for years and years, and then I stopped this year. But now the one time I got on at 8 o'clock on a Thursday, I'm seeing all these old familiar faces from back in the day. I was just commenting on how this year I will celebrate 5 years of YouTube streaming. I started my channel and my streaming in 2015, towards the end of 2015, but I feel like I've stuck this out pretty well. I'm still here. I'm still plugging along. You're only here for Subnautica? Okay, so I finished regular Subnautica last weekend. I was streaming that game 2 years ago, and I parked that save for some reason, and just last week I decided, you know what, I love that game. I never finished it. I think I was pretty far into it. So I did it for what for me is a marathon stream on Saturday for about 6.5 hours, and I finished it. And then I had the itch so bad. I still wanted to play more Subnautica. I was into it. So I got Subnautica Below Zero, and I've been playing that this week. And this is it's still in early access sequel to regular Subnautica, and for being in early access, I've been very impressed with it. I'm a little sad because I think I've come basically to the end of the story in this game, and the storytelling is a lot stronger than the original Subnautica. Turn on selfie cam. I can't do selfie cam right now. I don't know where my cam is. Let me see. I think it fell behind my desk. I haven't got it set back up again. Yeah, it's an extreme close-up. It's extreme closer-up of the wall behind my desk cam. And the problem is now, if I bring this up, the room I'm in needs to be tidied. So I can't. I don't want you guys to see the room. If I had to take the time to tidy up the room behind me, then I wouldn't have had time to stream tonight. So it's this trade-off we got to deal with. I do not, I don't have the time for niceties like cleaning the background. Thank you, Ali. I like my wall too. Alexander the Great with another $3.99. That's what you have left in your iTunes wallet? I didn't know you could use iTunes money to give me donations here. However you managed it, thank you, buddy. That's awfully nice of you. Finally learned how to donate tonight, he says. And he's been around. He's one of those names. Like just about everybody, actually, everybody's been around since almost 2016. Most of you guys have known since 2016. So, and hey, I see it's EV23. Literally gonna go to bed, saw you were live. Now you can't go to bed, at least not for another hour. Well, if it makes you feel any better, I don't stay up super late these days either. This is super late for me to start streaming, so I probably won't be streaming very long. Maxie! Hey, James Baker, you like that? I was looking at the music that was part of the Subnautica Below Zero soundtrack, and I just wasn't driving on it as background music for my intro video. And what I kept thinking of is a Super Mario underwater level music. So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna plug this in, and I assumed at least somebody would notice, and you are that somebody. You don't need a credit card. Just okay, I gotcha. Well, I do appreciate it, Alexander. I hope I didn't set you back too far with those gift cards either, because I want you to be. If you have any more, give yourself something nice. But I thank you so much for those donations, man. That's awesome. Oh no. If spoilers, then you gotta leave. Well, I finished Subnautica, and this is the sequel, and it's a different character, it's a different thing, whatever. So it's not like what happens in this one would, at least so that I've experienced, would spoil what happened in the first one. I can do a couple of options right now when I jump in a game, which I plan to do in a minute here. Is I have a game that I put a bunch of time into this week, and I can just give you a tour of like stuff that I've built and show you some of the different biomes. And the scenery is a lot different than the first game. It feels very similar, but also feels very different. The other option is I can start the game from the beginning, so you can see like the introduction, which is heavily scripted, but it would just give you a taste for like the intro of the game and the setup of it and that sort of thing. So I think I already have my game in progress loaded, but I'm willing to go and do either one. If people are interested to see the beginning sequence of the game, I can show that instead as well. You don't want to spoil this game. Okay, you mean for yourself, Barbara? Is that what you mean? Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do anything that's gonna trigger story spoilers, but if you're just concerned about like seeing spoilers about the things you can build or what biomes look like once you can go into the deep places and stuff, then yeah, you might want to avoid this. Unless I'd show the intro sequence. Let's see. What are those adorable mutated penguins called? I can find out. Let's see. But I think I've got them, here, I'm in game right now. Indigenous life forms, fauna. I think those are actually carnivores. Or they might be scavengers. No, they're called penguins. Penguins. Bird-like creatures. Snape swims with a Dumbledore. Taking a break from your games to watch G-Law. Oh, you're asking how he's doing. Penguin. That sounds awfully familiar. Let's see. Your husband and I have been married, or your husband and you have been married, not me. We've been married for 3 years and have been together for 6. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's the funny thing about time, Evie. I think about like what's happened over the past 5 years since I started streaming, and so much happened in my life. Like it's especially since I moved this past year, but just looking back over the past 5 years, like literally it was jam-packed full of changes and adventures and misadventures and good times, tragedies, and it's like, wow, what life is such a roller coaster, you know? So, well, I'm in the middle of my save right now. If anyone wants to see how the game starts, I can show you that as well. Do what you want to do. It's your stream. You been here for 5? Yeah. Well, let's see. I will be celebrating in September of this year. I'll be celebrating the 5-year anniversary of my first upload. I've been on YouTube. I had another channel that I started Gaming Lawyer just to do gaming stuff, but I had another channel, and I've been on YouTube since 2006. So I've been on YouTube for a long time. But as a gaming lawyer, creating gaming content, that started in September 2015. So, you want to see the beginning, Ali? All right, cool. It's a little bit scripted, but it's fun. It's interesting. I'm gonna go back to the main menu. And what I might do is I could do the intro sequence for a little while and then jump into my save game and show you a little bit of some of the cool stuff that I like about the new one that you wouldn't be able to see in the first couple hours. So let's start a new save. We're gonna do basic survival. Let's see. So, but yeah, I think, Ali, I'm trying to remember. I feel like I met you in, it might have been the end of 2015. I met a lot of people in December of 2015 because I started streaming in late October, around Halloween. And I started meeting other streamers and becoming part of the community in like November. It's when I basically started meeting people. All right. I'm gonna let the game take center stage a little bit because the intro is narratively driven, so to an extent. I'd go for it, Maxie. Okay, bye, Barbara. Thanks for coming in. Caw to you too.
Immediate evacuation of Sector 0 to Space Station Vespa.
Sam, what's happening?
The meteor storm. There was interference. It's closer than they thought.
How long?
Maybe 10 minutes.
Jeff, do you read?
I've been tweeted it. I translated the wake-up command.
Your timing sucks. We're evacuating. Jeff!
His last GPS check-in was at the cave entrance.
I'm going up there.
Roger that. Don't stay any longer than you need to.
All right. Can you guys hear that okay? I'm not sure what the volume is like. I can turn game volume up if necessary. Okay, so they got all this. I'm not going to look at all the little extra stuff, but I'll grab it anyways if I can. So, I think, is that supposed to be me? I don't know. I'm a lady in this one. Some various scenes. Oh, well, we are in a bit of an emergency. Maybe I should stop looking at the art. So, I think this is a room you can build later. I haven't built this big room yet, but I think you can build this room. You can hear it all right? It's not too low? Okay. So, I'm working at a research station, like at sort of the North Pole. This is the same planet from the first game, but a totally different area. And that is, I think that satellite up there is a huge orbital station where this operation is being managed from. So that's sort of like the, oh crap, there's like all sorts of crap flying out. I didn't notice this when I was playing before. Like a meteor storm coming through. All right, I'm gonna go to the cave. Sounds good. All right, sweet. Now you can see ice starting to form around the corners of the screen. So that's one thing. And in the first game, the main thing you had to worry about was running out of oxygen. In this game, you need to worry about getting too cold. But now you see, like, if you're out, at least if you're out in the above world. When you're underwater, you tend not to get too cold. But here's these plants that are like giant space heaters, which is kind of cool. And they turn towards you and warm you up. It's nice. Barry, who was this said? That was that, yeah, Evie saying this is such a pretty game. And it really is. They continued to impress me with their design, and like underwater on Earth can be pretty alien and fantastic, but the people that made this game brought it to a whole new level of actual alien underwater environments. So, yeah, and then we
I'm
got...
approaching the research site. It looks like Jeff's GPS tracker's here, but no other sign of him.
Understood. Be careful.
I've been really impressed too with how early access this is. You know, they give you all those warnings about how it might perform like crap and have a lot of bugs, and I found that it performs really well.
Jeff! Jeff off!
Jeff woke me up. Now Jeff is gone.
Who am I speaking to?
And the storytelling is a lot more in depth than the first one. There's a lot more going on. So, this guy Jeff woke somebody up. Let me see. I think I can have coffee. The coffee box. This will help warm me up. Did I get my coffee? I think it... I know it actually will give me coffee. I can drink. There we go. I'm gonna hold on to this because it actually helps warm you up. So it doesn't quench your thirst, but it does help warm you up. So next time I start getting frosty.
What happened here?
That information is
Damage sustained. Rerouting data to Sanctuary. Warning. Sanctuary power low.
Jeffov isn't here. But Sam, we woke something up. I spoke to it.
Please, get to the escape ship.
I'm on my way.
Yeah. Can't drink too much coffee or you get caffeine addiction. So your character is starting to get extremely crabby. Seek coffee. Okay, so now I just gotta get back to, there was nothing down here. This is just like a little side thing. What was it, the last thing that was said? Sam woke something up, I spoke to it. Get to the escape ship. Okay, I'm on my way. I think the escape ship was, that back at the base that I just came from. Yeah, and I've also always kind of been a fan of games that have the whole Arctic thing, like Wrath of the Lich King and World of Warcraft. I love all the Northrend, like the snow areas, and Skyrim, and oh, looks like I'm not going back the way I came. All right, come on. All right, that is one hell.
What? I'm not on that ship.
Who is?
Jeff's
There it
the only
goes.
one it could be. Where's it going?
I'll find out. Where are you now?
Still making for the base. That's my best shelter now.
Okay, I'm going to see what I can do from here.
All right, starting to get a little frosty. All right, time to have that coffee I was talking about. Look at that, frost went away. Of course, that's the only coffee I had. So. Okay.
Oh no,
Are you
Well-
at base yet?
that's a negative.
Technically.
It's gone. Sam!
Oh, shit.
Your environment is no longer safe, and your PDA is rebooted in emergency mode.
Alright.
Be advised, high wind speeds will cause lethal exposure in 4 minutes.
So, the base has been destroyed. And this was the only way to go. The planet, it's a little wild. All right, here's somewhere to breathe. Catch my breath. Things still looking a little nuts out there.
Robin, come in.
I copy. I'm okay.
Stay where you are and look up. I'm dropping you a life pod.
Did everyone else get away? Did you find Jeff?
They're still counting heads. We
Oh, there.
haven't found.
Sam! Vesper! Do you read? Sam!
Something happened. So in the first game, you start in a life pod of a ship that's been heavily damaged, like an escape pod. And in this one, they drop one down to you, and that's how you start your career. I don't know if you see them. There's the penguins hanging out on that iceberg over here. Hey, fellas. Hey, fellas. Hi. Hi there, buddy. Here you go. How you oh, okay. They're mean. They don't like it when I mess with their baby boy. Is that it? Is that what it is, or just you don't like when I get close? Here, but he fell down. He needs help. All right. I'm gonna leave him alone. Yeah, the one thing that's kind of cool about this is just the environment in general. There's a lot different weather. You hear like you see massive hailstones, and then when it's hailing, you see the huge chunks of hail like splashing down underwater while you're down here. It's pretty cool. It's similar to the first game in a lot of ways, but it also feels a lot different. So, he needs help.
Well done for surviving the evacuation. Statistically, that is the hard part. This life pod will help you survive until rescue. Fabricate food and tools, and refer to your PDA's databank for more information. Good luck.
So it begins. You run out, you get your, you grab some fish.
Creature discovered.
Let me see, they got the bladder fish too, which are the ones you can convert into water.
New creature discovered.
Grab a few of those. I'm not gonna mess with the penguins. Oh, bladder fish. And I think you guys are... Oxygen doesn't last that long. I think you guys are familiar with the basic gameplay loop. And then, you know, things start progressing. Like you try to figure out how to reestablish communications with the outside world, and right now you're just kind of... They dropped you a life pod, and now you can't... You're completely isolated. If you can feed the penguins, I don't think you could really interact with them. I think all you can do is... I've never tried fighting one, but... Let me see, I have water. I could use a little more. Here, I'll grab a fish and I'll run to the penguins and see if I can give him one. Let's see, where's oh, is he hunting? Is he going after actual fish? I never stopped and just watched them before. But I know I see larger predators actually going after and eating other fish. And it looks like they look, yep, one of them just killed another fish.
Oxygen.
Hey guys. Hey, look what I got for you. Oh no, I threw it. They don't care. I didn't mean to throw it so violently. Okay, chill, guy. Here, we'll try this again. I want to give you guys some fish. Evie wants to know if I can feed you. I don't think they'll let me, but here, look. Look. Did you eat it? It looks like you ate it. Go grab some more. Hey guys, I came back. Look. Hey, what are you doing? You're not supposed to do that. Eat the fish. Eat the fish. They're not going for it. All right, that's very, very dark. But I like there's a lot of neon going on in the ocean. It's very cool. I'm trying to remember, I don't think the first game had this lively of a night scene. There's a lot of fluorescent details lighting up the night, which is pretty cool. And the fish themselves are iridescent. They're glowing as well.
Oxygen.
All right, so I think at this point I'm actually gonna go back. I'm gonna go to my current saved game because now that we're at the open world part, like literally if I just started playing, all you would be able to see me do in the time that I have tonight is just keep from starving and maybe building the first rudimentary tools. Game developers are great at inventing life forms. Yeah, when you see all the fish and stuff and different life forms interacting, they do simulate an ecosystem of, yeah, there's the things that are prey and the things that are predators, and you see that sort of chain of, like, the small fish gets eaten by the big fish that gets eaten by the shark that gets eaten by the even bigger, like the sea serpent. So this is my sea truck. If you guys remember on the other one, you got a big submarine. In this one, they don't have the submarine. Let me get to a higher. I'm in a place that's a little bit restricted here, because I was exploring this location. And I'll go back to where I just was. I can show you back at that life pod. But yeah, so instead of having a big submarine, now you've got, it's called a sea truck, and it's got a bunch of different modules, and you decide which modules that you want on there. So like right now, I've got, of course there's the cab, but there's also, this is a storage module, and I like storage, so I actually have 2 storage modules. This is a fabrication module where you can build, you know, use your ingredients and build stuff. And then this module back here is the whole purpose of this is to allow you to attach the armored suit, which I'm actually not going to use right here because I'm afraid it's not too late. I think you can get back up. This thing this thing can't swim very great, so it drops to the bottom of the sea. And this is one that I had from the previous, the regular Subnautica. I was running around one of these on Saturday as well. So this guy makes a return. Hopefully I can get back. There we go. Just grabs it. And so this way you can move around in your little submarine. And the other thing that's cool is, let's see, you can separate stuff. So if you didn't want all those modules, you could take, you know, you take some of them off. You can pull them apart or put them in a different order. For a long time, I just was going around with just this. Let me see. So that clicks right back on there again. For a lot of my exploration, I was just going around in this, like just the pod and some storage. And this could fit in a lot of places that the larger truck can't. And if you really need to, oh yeah, you have this like cam that you can use too. So when it's time to line back up, it'll just click right back into place. So now it's all back on there. So that's kind of cool. In some ways, I really like the big sub from the first game. It's a pretty cool ship. I don't know if that will eventually be in this. I know it's not so far, but I really enjoyed this. The modular nature of this is very flexible, and you can also, if you just need to have what was like the Sea Moth in the first one, which is just a little one-man sub with nothing else, from inside the sub you can hit this, and now you're just literally floating around in this thing, which, and when the less you have, the faster it moves too. So if you're just in this, you're super fast comparatively. And yeah, I have some upgrades on this, so. But yeah, there's a bunch of things that I didn't add. Like you can get like a little aquarium car. You can add a sleeper car that has a bed so you can progress time. Like right now, I wouldn't mind having that sleeper car because it's flippin' dark. And I like making it be daytime when it's dark. It's like, yeah, right now you cannot see anything. Right. And you can see I got buoy, or not buoys, what are these? There's those markers you can place to set waypoints around. There's the Stuff 1 marker and the alien habitat entrance, and there's all sorts of different locations that I've marked. That way it's easy for me to get around. Okay, I'm getting bit. There's something, my ship health just went down. I think it's one of these things. They do not like my submarine. Alright, I'm gonna see if I give us a little speed boost, because these guys are chewing my shit up. I'm down to 62% health. Let's see. I think we're out of hostile waters. Now, one thing that's kind of cool about this ship is you can repair it with a repair tool, and when it's modular like this, where you can walk around the interior, you can repair it from the inside. So in the other game, when you're repairing the little sub, you had to go outside to repair it. But I like that fact that I can repair from the inside. I feel like snug as a bug. I don't have to go out in the freaky water. But yeah, so my main, I've got 2 bases that I've made. This is the main base in the center. It's right near that pod, the crash pod. And then I've got another base. What did I call it? Wreck base, because it's right next to a giant, like, looks like old spaceship that looks like it's crashed in the water. And I made that base over there because there's a lot of stuff to explore in that region. That and a lot to collect over there. It's like, seems like it's right at the entrance of sort of another major area. But yeah, you can see now that I have everything attached, this thing moves pretty slow by comparison. So if you're gonna haul everything along with you, you may not want to do that for general exploration. But you can sort of bring this along with you, and then when you get to an area you want to explore, like here's some of this stuff, and I want to take a look at that, then you just disconnect, and now you're able to come through all this, which is pretty cool. I like that flexibility, like sort of instant, like, yeah, this, a second ago, this was like a long submarine, and now it's just this agile little ship that can, whoop, that can crash recklessly into stuff and fit in all these little tight places. They're going down. And now you can see I'm going fast enough that when the predators try and get me, they can't keep up. I'm just going straight down. Things just get spookier and gloomier the further down you go. If you find ways into like more subterranean areas. I think there's a couple nasties floating around down here too. Whoop. There he is. All right, we don't need to mess with that. I go back up. But yeah, all these little places I'm going through right now, there's no way I could have fit my whole truck through all of that. Animal Lair, aka Keith. It's me, man. To Xmog legendaries? Oh, WoW's latest patch? Is that where... Wait, that's where you can make anything look like those things? Is that transmog? Now I'm confused because it's been a while since I've messed with that system. All right, let's there we go. I still haven't finished Legion content. I bought Battle for Azeroth finally last year. But then, what's it called came out? Classic came out, and I started playing that instead. So, this is my current base, my main base. These legs look a little awkward, but... Okay, stuff is rendered a little funny here. There we go. I was gonna say there used to be supports holding everything up. It's a little unnatural just to see a bunch of steel platforms just floating. I mean, ships do that, but you just gotta start on WoW again. I just thought about WoW in the last few days again as well. I don't know if I'm about to get back into it, but there's a little part of me. A little part of me got the itch. So this is kind of familiar. I have a jukebox though. Like how they have all the music is about like diving in too deep.
Waves crash with anxiety, another sleepless night. Long way from society.
It's kind of cool. And I added a speaker so I could hear it around the base.
I'll survive. I'm jumping right into the days. Just hold my breath, not going without a fight. I'm diving in too deep. An ocean in my head. It's getting hard to see. I'm having lost.
I gotta dance.
I might be lost, but I'm gonna find who I am. Diving into deep.
Yeah.
Diving into deep. Shipwrecked in a foreign land. No one left the boat. I built a life with my own two hands. I'm not giving up. Yeah, I know I'm far from home, but I'll survive. I'm jumping right into the days. Just hold my breath, not going without a
I wonder if we're
fight.
getting mad copyright claims from this.
Diving too deep. An ocean in my head. It's getting hard to see. I might be lost, but I'm gonna find who I am. Diving in too deep. Don't have a master plan.
Yeah, and I don't think you can install one of these things on your submarine either. Oh, you could probably get play the music in the background on like an MP3 player. But yeah, of the different songs and you actually collect these songs in games. You find locations where you find discs for the jukebox.
I'm far from home, but I'll survive. I'm jumping right into the days. Just hold my breath, not going without
Hey, Stone.
a fight. I'm diving into deep.
Super Subnautica for sure.
An ocean in my head.
Let's see. But yeah.
I take a deep, deep dive into the ocean light. There's a world that moves just right under the tide, but I'll never know unless I look inside. I take a deep, deep dive.
That guy sounds a little bit like Weird Al.
Taking a step into the depth, I'm an explorer. Submarine life, flow through the tide under the water. Hope to survive, hope to supply, both getting shorter. Search and repair, resources rare, keep them in order.
But yeah, I like. And you know they made this music just for this game. 'Cause it's all about going in the water. And some of it's just like instrumental.
You have no concept of what has just occurred. I will destroy you. Do not move. Do not.
Alright, so that's kind of cool. The diving in too deep's my favorite one, though. Oh, Evie, you gotta go to bed? Okay. Have a good night if I didn't miss you already. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I'm surprised. I'm finding like the couple of songs that I've really gotten into, I really like. So it's really catchy stuff. So yeah, and I got this place pretty organized. I have everything like labeled out, so I know where everything goes. It's a little bit better organized than the base of my old game. Yeah, I got my two-story aquariums. So I always got a supply of fish, fresh fish. Upstairs part. Yeah, my water filters that turn the ocean water into purified water. Salt. So, I don't think I want to let that thing out here. Oh, I can't even see behind me now. Because of the, that sea moth is actually blocking my rear view mirror. Or not sea moth, I think it's called a prawn suit. What? I didn't know I could do that. So it just brought up my sea truck all by itself if I drive this too close. That's never I've never done that before. I didn't think I would be able to park this thing. Okay, get out of the way. Alright, let's get that like so. It's called the prawn suit. I renamed mine to the Lawbot because I thought that would be cool. The Lawbot.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Welcome aboard the Lawbot. Alright, get up there. Now this I know comes up here alright. The shrimp suit. Yeah, by default it's called the prawn suit, which is basically like the shrimp suit. Why not? Let's see. I did spend a lot of time running around, let's see, without the fabricator on. Maybe I should do that. I like having the extra storage. I don't do a lot of crafting in this thing. But I was thinking the next thing that I did want to do was go around the prawn suit, because the prawn can do mining of giant ores, which I haven't been able to do. Like in my game, I literally just got the prawn suit. So I haven't had a chance to really take it out and mine some big ores with it. Oh wait, but I knew it. Okay. There's actually a huge above ground portion too that has like a hover bike, it's like a motorcycle type thing, and I haven't even barely explored that area at all. But my plan was, because I don't have a ton of building materials, was I was gonna find a way to build the prawn first, and then be able to mine some of those giant like metal resource nodes that I wasn't able to mine before. Because, yeah, I got the mining thing right here. So I did add that mining upgrade. That's this guy right here. I don't think I have access to all the upgrades because I don't have access to all the ingredients. But I added a propulsion suit cannon and the drill arm. And let's see, did I have its original thing still in the trunk? I guess if you take them off, they have by default just kind of like these punchy arms. Hey, Orcast, no, I didn't make the spank room. I was saving that. We can't, that definitely would need to be added. And Nick would need to be here for that. Because Nick was the original architect of the concept of the masturbatorium. So I was specifically now he also came up with the name USUC 101, which is You Suck LOL, and this is the USUC 101B to carry on the tradition of that. Let's see, let's get the prawn on there. Oh, I want to get in the prawn momentarily. Attach that on the back. We're gonna leave. Let's get this out of the way. We don't want to make a mess with our toys. We decide, I think when I go to make the land base area, which is far away, I want to make a base as a launching point to explore the land areas. I'll probably see if I can bring this whole rig with me. There's a couple tight spots to get it there, but I want to bring as much material as I can with me so I can start the foundations of a base there. And it may be helpful to have the fabricator along for that as well. So I think all I'm doing in this game right now is just oh wait, do I have food and water? Food, water. Yeah, we're pretty set. Just gonna have a little explore about. I don't think they've got any of those giant mining nodes right near this newbie area. But yeah, so there's my first base. And then you can see it's about 100 meters away from the original life pod that is where the whole game starts. So when you saw me do the intro sequence of the game, this is where I stopped. And so now you have a frame of reference that I didn't go too far. My the U-Suck is about 80 meters away from this thing. Hey, what's up, Mandarin Tang? How you doing? Good to see ya. Let me see, where did I see you lately? Were you in Kink's stream the other night? I don't think I spoke in Kink's stream at all. He was watching like political stuff, but after he mentioned that he was doing political stuff on his channel, I wanted to check him out. So I lurked Kink for about, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 hours the other night. I was a little bit under the weather this week, so my sleep was out of whack, and I actually missed Monday or Tuesday at work. So I think it was Tuesday night. One of these nights, I was watching a Kink. It was Kink watching, I think it was like the Senate stuff that was happening, and he was just, there's hours and hours of it. It was just him watching and talking about that and like having political debates. I didn't want to get involved in the discussion because I was tired and I don't want to get sucked into people arguing, but it was sort of fun to sit back and listen to. Yeah, because I think I remember him you and him were having like a little bit of a back and forth, and I think you were playing devil's advocate to some of the things he was saying, and he was getting pissed off, and I was like, yeah, this is fun to watch. I don't think I want to join in, but I was enjoying, I was listening to it because I was actually laying down. So I didn't actually see what you were writing, but I was laying down, and it was sort of like, I was like, well, I kind of was curious to watch some of these proceedings anyways, and it makes it a little more interesting to watch it while there's someone I know is getting into like heated discussions about it. I found it more entertaining than anything, and I actually fell asleep to it. So I don't know when it ended. I fell asleep, and I woke up like 3 hours later, and he was done doing it. But yeah, okay, so yeah, that was you, Mandarin Tang. That's funny because yeah, I remember seeing you in that chat room, and then here we are a couple days later, and now you're in here. But we're not gonna talk. That's one of the main rules of my of G-Law's chat is we don't talk about that stuff. But I appreciate, you know, I still enjoy going places where people do talk about that stuff, but I don't always like to embroil myself in the discussion. Win-win. You didn't see what you were writing either? Yeah, all I knew is he was reacting, but I don't know what you were saying. Let's see. Yep, this thing is a bit slow. I haven't seen any nodes to mine yet. Although there's plenty of stuff I could swim out and pick up. But since I got the prawn suit, I don't want to do that. I want to find big nodes and mine those things. So it's just a matter of getting out to the places where those things exist. Is this one? No, it's not. It was all, yeah, and that's the impression I got too. Is you're still all friends there. But it'd be interesting to see how that works out for him, because that's something I don't talk about a whole lot, but whoa, hey there, buddy. What? Where? What the F was that? Okay, that was fucking terrifying. Okay. It's time to hit a little speed boost. That thing took about 1/3 of my ship's health, too. Maybe it just wants to play, but it wants to play like a bitch. That was a definite nope. All right, is this like maybe a little safe spot? Do a little repair. I didn't know I was going into waters that had shit like that. I mean, I know there's stuff that's hostile to me, like those other things I was going by. They made a terrible noise, but all they would do is crash into the ship and take like 5 to 10 points at a time. That thing grabbed me in his maw, shook me around, and took over 1/3 of my ship's structural integrity, like in one shake. All right, let me give us a little save here. And it's about a good time to have a snack. A little food, a little drink. Hey, I meant to grab another water to have in my inventory. I guess I didn't bring a water with me. I like coming with 1 water and 1 fish that I carry on me at all times, and then when I get hungry on a ship, I'll eat stuff out of my supplies. So one of my strategies with this thing is, it doesn't have a ton of storage, but this one is where I bring food and water so that I don't have to keep going back to base every 5 minutes. And then also extra equipment that I don't use all the time, but I want to have available to me, like the laser cutter. Sometimes you find wrecks that have doors that you can use a laser cutter to get through, but you don't use it all the time, you know. Let's see. many different... Oh, hello, no, I'm not talking to you, Siri. Shut up. Quiet now, Siri. Turn off. What are you doing? Whatever. I was... Oh, hell no. But yeah, so that's what I was about to say too, is the channel that I had in 2006, I actually did get into like sharing my political views and getting into debates with people about like politics and religion and all sorts of this stuff that you've since learned is I since learned does not always go well if you're trying to discuss with people of different viewpoints and with the aim of changing their mind. I used to think, oh, if you just have a calm discussion, at the very least, maybe people could all come to like, they don't necessarily agree, but they could all come to understand each other, you know, where they're coming from. It's like, nope, that wasn't my experience for the most part. It would just be like, and I was involved in that. It wasn't a great channel, but I probably had about 700 or 800 subs, which back then was not terrible. But I found it like, I'd make a video and then I'd spend the next 2 years arguing with people in the comments on like a video or two. And I was the type where I couldn't, if people were whatever provoking me, I couldn't leave it alone. Like I had to prove them wrong or keep arguing against them. I'm into Snapchats and nudes now? No. You're seeing what I'm into now. But yeah, so when I decided I wanted to do gaming, I almost just picked up that channel and kept doing it. Because I hadn't put content on the channel. Like, I was active on the channel from 2007 to 2009. And then I was tired of just arguing with people. And so then I just used it to watch videos, and I didn't put out content anymore, and I stopped arguing with people, and I realized I like it better when I'm not arguing. So when I decided I wanted to do a gaming channel, I thought, well, I think I'm just gonna start fresh. Because I thought, well, I still have like 800 subs. But I didn't want to, that channel environment was a little bit toxic. Like, I didn't mean it to be, but that was the kind of discourse it seemed to invite. And I was like, I don't want to build a gaming channel on a foundation of like a channel that used to be about people like trying to poon each other. Pooned! Your argument's been pooned, bro. Yeah, the people can't say so. And I mean, I've experienced that just in my own... What is all this shit? Wait a... I'm trying to remember, did I lose a vessel out here? Oh no, okay, this is just... I never saw this wreckage before. And I guess I'll take that. I don't think I've been through this area a bunch of times, but I don't think I ever saw this stuff. Fabricator module. I think this is all stuff that I've already have blueprints for. Aquarium module. Whoa, oh, hey. All right, there's also, that's probably why I never looked over here, because it's completely infested with giant angry shark monsters. It's all adding up now. And we're really close to my my other base, my wreckage base. Princess Unicorn. Hi, Princess Unicorn. That's right, tonight I started a Thursday stream at almost 8 p.m. sharp. It was like 8:02. Just like old times. What's not like old times is now that it's after 9, I'm probably gonna have to end my stream soon because I have to go to bed. So I don't have the carefree work whenever I want to type of lifestyle anymore. But on the bright side, I also know exactly how much I can expect to get paid from month to month, which is nice. That's what I didn't have before. So yeah, this is my let me repair my ship on here. No, I don't want it. I guess I can repair from the outside. So this is my other base. It is
welcome aboard, Captain.
Somewhat similar, except I've got larger bins that don't have names on them. So I got larger things, but it's not, I like my new system on my other base better. And it's got a similar layout where I've got the storage area over here. And then I've got the bedroom over here. It's obviously not quite as well developed as my main base. And then there aren't as many fish in this area to catch outside. I was finding that even when I was having prolonged operations out here, I kept having to go back to my main base to get the fish that you make water with. So that's why I kept expanding this base. At first it was just a place to dump stuff off over there. And then I kept finding more and more stuff on this side of the map that needed exploring. And I realized, like, hey, I really need to make this a base of operations that I can come back to, replenish food and water on a reliable basis. So there's all my bladder fish. And there's all my peepers. They're good eating. Yeah. We are doing some actual gameplay. Yeah. Sometimes I have had several streams where I do gameplay over the past year. I've had several streams where I don't barely do any gameplay as well, but you know. Speaking of food and water, I should probably top myself off with these renewable resources. A couple bladderfish. I think one cooked peeper should be sufficient to top me off, hunger-wise. Yeah, the other thing I don't have at this base is I don't have a jukebox, so I can't listen to those jamming tunes. Hey, Chauncey. It's nighttime and Chauncey's having her random. I think it's like a Wings version of a yawn. Should just suddenly start flapping her wings like crazy, but it's like a stretch that gets a little out of control when she grabs the side of the cage and just like flaps her wings real hard. That's great. Her little feathers are flying all over the room now. Jeepers creepers, where'd you get those peepers? Oh yeah, I picked up some extra titanium. And I do believe this is in the vicinity of some of those larger some of the larger nodes that I can mine with the prawn suit. So we're gonna have a little look around, see if we can find some of those. I think there's some fairly nearby. There's also some angry fish fairly nearby too. Although I think I know of a couple places that might have some that don't have a bunch of angry fish. Okay, here's one. That's a big quartz node. that I can mine, and a big titanium node I can mine. Alright, this is a good spot for my initial foray into large-scale mining. The only thing that sucks is that I miss is having the big submarine that you can actually build inside, because I created a ton of storage containers in the submarine in the first game, and in this one you can't build inside these things. So these two storage modules, they've got a few different compartments, but none of them have that much storage. So I mean, it's definitely better than just coming with your pockets and that's it, but it's not like the other one where I could literally store 500 things in there by just building a bunch of storage. All right, is this happening? There we go. Wait, do I have to pick up the, I think it automatically goes into suit storage. Not super glorious. Let's see, did I deplete it? Yeah, that's gone. Let me see how much I ended up with. Oh, actually, I have to look in the suit's storage. Not terrible. I mean, is it... Gonna have to go into my truck and empty it out after another node or so, though, probably. So there you have it, my very first Lawbot drilling session in Subnautica Below Zero. Very exciting stuff. So my long-term goal is to gather base building materials in bulk and then take my sea truck to the there's like this landlocked area where you find a very narrow passage deep in the ocean that takes you through a glacier that you resurface in a small sort of lake within a mostly land area, which I didn't explore too much because I was getting too cold. And I also went there with I think I just went there with the one module. So I barely had any storage. I was running out of food. I might have had the one storage truck. Can't remember what I might have had that, but let me see what we got. So yeah, this is practically full, so I need to go back and empty this out. Well, I guess I can keep mining. Now that I'm getting all this quartz, I'll have plenty of glass to be able to make my masturbatorium. I think I need diamonds for that as well. What is the masturbatorium? They call it something else in here because they don't understand. They call it an observatory. Psh. Enameled glass. Very low structural integrity. Well, it's low integrity, all right. Because, you know, never mind. No, there's still a little bit more here. Alright, that was relatively satisfying. Let me see, is there a way for me to get... I thought there was some way for me to transfer stuff out of the prawn suit. Oh, it's like this. Oh, whoops. Okay, that's not helpful. You can take stuff out of your out of your storage and shoot it out with your propulsion hand. I don't know. There must be some useful reason for doing that, but I don't know what it is. A lawyer should be used to working with low integrity subjects. That depends on the kind of lawyer. Well, I can't say anything about what I'm doing now. I was like, what I'm doing now isn't working with low lives, but I was like, well, in a sense it is. Because what I do is when large companies lose class action suits and they've got to pay out lots and lots of people for mistakes they made, we're the company, or our company offers a service of carrying out the logistics of paying out that many people and sending out that much corresponding mail to all those people, and dealing with all the weird problems that come up when you try to send checks to 1 million people. And so the client is still the company that has to pay all that money out. They've been required to do it by law, but they don't have the infrastructure to carry off that kind of operation, so they hire a company like ours to actually carry out the operation. And which means that the company I work for is in the business of paying people, but the people that we're doing it for are the people that did things that resulted in them owing millions of people money. So it's kind of like a weird, it's like, am I the good? I think I'm the good guys. Am I the good guys? I mean, we're paying the people that deserve to get paid, but we're technically on the payroll of the people that screwed them in the first place. But it makes me feel better to think about it like, yeah, if you just looked at the corporation who has hired us, you could say they've done a lot of naughty stuff. All purely by accident, of course. Corporations never intentionally harm people. They just in the pursuit of making money, sometimes people get harmed accidentally in a financial way. That's what we'll call it. They're not exactly high integrity anymore. You make it sound like there was some golden age of corporations when they were all ethical. Alright. Not that I'm like super anti-corporation, but I'm kind of a realist in that if you have an entity that's whole purpose is to make money, you can expect that there's going to be some people getting screwed here and there. Alright. Omega Base. Bloodish Down. I think Bloodish Down is where I want to go. I think that was the area I was talking about where there were some big things for me to mine that weren't surrounded by ridiculous hostile fish that want to kill me. I gotta pass some ridiculous hostile fish that want to kill me on my way there, You see one right there. Wait, hold on a sec. There's also some, I may have just not found it yet, but there's some ingredients I need that are just like, they're called like flower bulbs or something that just seems really like you'd think would be common. But I guess I just haven't found, okay. I guess I just haven't found the right flowers yet. There's some pretty like end game advanced stuff too. Is this? Okay, that's something that needs to be mined, but I don't want to do that here because there's a bunch of giant angry fish that'll try to eat me while I'm doing it. I should probably be careful though how much I talk about corporations and all that crap, because technically that can tread into territory of like all the politics and stuff that I don't want to talk about on my channel. Because that easily strays into political issues of like regulation versus deregulation and all that crap, which tends to go to the heart of a large sort of slice of the pie of political stuff that people disagree about. Okay, I know I'm down to 75% integrity. I know. You're big, you're bad, you're scary. Bans you off from his own channel. Well, I feel like I didn't get into that sort of thing, but I didn't try to say corporations are bad. It's like, you know, I don't think that's controversial to say that as entities whose primary goal is to make money, occasionally people get, you know, those entities will harm people because their primary goal is not to be good to people, it's to generate money. Let's see.
Yes.
No, when I said let's see, Siri thought I was saying, hey Siri. Hey Siri, I'm not talking to you. They happened to be on a customer call the other day. They escalated a call to me. That's one of the things that I do in my job is we get weird people calling in about their checks that they're getting, and there's weird stuff entangled in it, like people that are deceased, have died, or the people that are in the middle of bankruptcies where they'll have bankruptcy trustees trying to claim their refund or their payout checks. Hey, gun kid. Oh yeah, I wasn't debating. I'm definitely not going to debate the merits of capitalism. That's not happening in this channel. I don't even know how I got talking about I just brought up my job, which has to do with class action lawsuits, and just made the observation that my job is to the company I work for, their whole purpose is to pay when a company gets sued and loses class action lawsuit and has to pay millions of people. They hire our company to carry out the logistics of actually making those payments. So technically I feel like what I do for a living does not feel morally repugnant to me. It feels like yeah, these people got kind of screwed and now they're getting paid back for what happened to them, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being part of that process. But like, say it was when all the shit went down that gave rise to that lawsuit, if I was just straight out working for the company where there was like they had certain policies that ended up causing all that shit to happen to people, that's when I would have had problems. I would have been like, oh, that Oh, okay, I got to get the F out of here. I just realized I'm like 100 meters. Repair. I'm glad I suddenly noticed. I just need to get the hell out of here. I don't have any pressurized modules. Get on there. I don't have the right modules for that, for the prawn to survive at this depth. So I've got to get above 400 meters pretty flippin' quick, or that thing's gonna implode from the pressure. Wow, that was a close call. Okay. Time to get out and do some repairs. Let's see. I was looking at stuff. Here's Mom Siri knows what just shut the fuck up means. Scammer calls are sort of the best to mess around with. Let's see. They're also annoying as hell. Yeah. Siri, jeez. Stop it. Hey Siri, stop listening to me.
I can't do that, but you can change it in settings.
Alright, but I do like saying stuff like, hey Siri, is it gonna rain tomorrow?
It might rain in the late night.
Yeah, there you go. And the other thing is I always forget her, like, I'll have her in my pants or in my jacket pocket, and then I'll forget where I put her, so I'll walk into my room and be like, where's my phone? And I'll say, hey Siri, where are you?
Here I am.
And she said, here I am. So, now I'm gonna keep you on, Siri. But just, you know, try not to be so involved in my conversation, that's all. Money is great, use it to buy stuff. Yeah. Sir. Here I am. I'm like, oh, wait. That came out of my ass. I promise never to tell. Can I repair the prawn from here? Or is the prawn considered just part of the, is the prawn, and I'm curious, because I know the prawn was probably down to about 40% structural integrity. It doesn't get repaired just by attaching this. I think it's just because it's now attached to this, it's not independently repairable? Is that? I don't know what's happened. Oh, but this thing's down to 60. This thing's down to 63% too, so I need to fix that. Thank you for accepting long distance fees. And then I basically don't answer calls from people that I don't know who they are. The only time I do that, or I've done that somewhat recently, is when I've been applying to jobs and therefore I want to be receiving calls from people that I don't already know because I'm hoping one of them will hire me. Let's do a little speed boost here. But for the most part, if I don't know who's calling me, I don't answer the phone. And then I listen to the voicemail. And if it sounds like something that is not pertaining to some business that I am familiar with or that I know that I am involved with, I don't call them back. Yeah, that audit, that IRS stuff, that's complete bullshit. I mean, luckily there are certain things that I won't fall prey to because, especially when they're threatening to be government agencies and they're threatening to be like, yeah, one thing that all the time and money I put in law school has helped me do is help me to know, like, oh no, that's a bunch of bullshit. Sorry. That's not how it works, guys. I'm not gonna get iTunes cards and pay the IRS, and by the way, don't tell the police. Don't tell the police, because then you'll get even more trouble. It's like, oh, yeah, that's totally legit. The only calls you got from people you know, or, yeah. No, basically, it's just like, my phone rings, and it says scam likely, or unknown number, whatever. It's just like, nah, I'm not gonna answer it. Sometimes scam likely, stuff that comes up as scam likely is stuff that there are calls that I actually need to take. So that's the thing that's kind of funny, is the program that I work for, we have one of those like 800 numbers or 888 numbers when we call out. So almost all of our calls get screened because people don't know who the hell we are. And that's why anytime I make a call, I've got to be ready to leave on the records. We'll have a detailed note to drop onto the communications record right away, before I even make the call, explaining, like, if Mrs. Smith calls back, tell her that the purpose of the call was X, Y, and Z. Because also in these programs, you can't leave a bunch of detailed personal information about what's going on with someone's private business on a voicemail. All you can do is say, I'm calling from such and such program regarding information relating to the program. Please give us a call back. And yeah, I could see how, like, people would look at us and go, oh wow, that sounds super scammy. Our number probably comes up as scam likely. Joe Black calling from the IRS. Yeah. Yeah, I like watching some of those videos of people that troll those guys. I find those entertaining. What's that guy's name? Sitboga or something like that? There's a guy that I've been watching for a couple years, and that's all he does. And he does a few different, like, funny voices and pulls these pranks on these guys. Oh yeah, this is down to 55%. Kit Boga, that's right. Yeah. I've watched a bunch of his stuff. I like him. Yeah, he'll do like several hours of streams and then he'll cut together. I haven't watched him. I don't know if I've ever watched him do it live, but I go on his YouTube channel and he'll cut together smaller videos that highlight this longer calls that he's been on. It's pretty good. Have you watched him live, Gun Kid?
Welcome aboard, Captain.
You say horrible jokes to telemarketers? I don't, like I said, but based on my phone habits, I can't recall the last time I was talking to like a scam person or a telemarketer. Honestly, if I don't recognize the call, I don't take it. All right. What was it? Oh yeah, it's like a vent or something. I was like, hey, what's this? And I just remembered, if you get too close to it, when it blows its top, it hurts you. Oh, my water is really low.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Thank you, robot voice lady. Grab some peepers. Cook them up all nice and good. Oh yeah, the IRS doesn't call. Total pro tip. Yeah, they don't work that way. There's a lot of misinformation about the IRS in general.
Vital signs stabilizing.
That just about tops us off. Here, we'll go to bed so it's nice and bright and cheerful outside again, too. Yeah, that's all they do, too. Is snail mail. And but I'm just very wary in general. Because I'm pretty sure, like, I've fallen for a WoW, like, long time ago, fallen for a WoW-related scams where you get an email saying, like, your account's been hacked into. Please visit our security site to recover your password or something. And back when those kind of scams were new, I'm pretty sure I got my I got an account, or my wife got her account. I know my wife's account for sure got hijacked. And I think it may have had something to do with either that, or it could have been, I don't know what it was. I know what one of our account, I can't remember if mine got hijacked. I know hers did, because I remember going through the process of recovering it. You were logging in your Blizzards a while ago from China. 2-factor login saved you? Yep, now it's bright and cheery out here. You can see my secondary base in the broad daylight. This is rec base. Oh, I think I show you the rec. No! Siri, stop it. I don't know what the hell she's talking about right now. She's having a whole little conversation over there. Siri, be quiet. So, I've already explored these wrecks, but that was sort of the first thing I did over here. Was there's a whole little world to explore under there. I think I found everything that there was to find in here. Now I've got like 3 times the breath capacity because of various upgrades that I've made, so. One problem, you start going into these places and it can be pretty stressful before you upgrade your breathing equipment, because you don't have a lot of time. And if you lose your sense of direction, it can become very panic-inducing when you're starting to run out of breath and you can't figure out how to get back to the outside to to where there's oxygen again. Yep. I'm pretty sure I pretty well explored this whole wreck. See, I've been in here a while, and now I'm down to 141. But in this one here, there's actually this air pocket here where you can refill. And wow, I appear to have glitched out into this terrain. So this is not optimal. That they have a place where you have to pop up here to get air, and they've got geometry here that you can very easily get stuck in when you're jumping out of water. Hey, Ghost, what's up, man? But this could also be just a good time for me to just stop, because it's almost 10. I need to go to bed. I haven't accomplished this game session hasn't been a lot about accomplishing a whole ton of stuff. It's just more been about screwing around and showing you all the toys and this new version of Subnautica that's in development right now. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I just realized I am pretty flippin' tired right now. So, getting stuck on the geometry is officially what's going to trigger the end of gameplay. And the transition towards calling it a night. But yeah, we had a little Thursday night, 8 p.m. stream. Now watch, Nick needs to show up now. This is exactly the time when Nick will get home. And he'll be like, oh, G-Law's streaming. He's gonna come in and he's gonna see this thanks for watching screen. Be like, God damn it. So, let me see. Thank you for being here, Keith. See you later, buddy. See you later, Stone. And Ghost, I know I just said hi. I'm also going now. You're the one that... You're like, hey, G-Law streaming. And you're like, I remember the good old days when he would play until midnight every Thursday. And then, if he was in the right mood, he'd sing for 2 more hours. Like, nope, not anymore. All right, guys. Gonna call it a night. Thanks for hanging out. Probably be aiming for another stream next. I generally try to... Thursdays is when I think about it the most. That I assume if I can. But yeah, there's no promises. But look for me on Thursdays. I could pop up at other times. But in any event, everybody, thanks for being here. Have a nice weekend, and I'll see you in the not too distant future. Hugs and kisses.